Hello, art lovers, and welcome to another figure study where we appreciate the form in Transformers. I'm excited about today because I am kicking off a week-long look at Maketoys' version of Defensor. I believe, oh geez, what was the name of it again? Guardia, that was it. I should know, but I'm already forgetting. Right, so unlike the video I did for Victorion, where I did just like a one long video taking a look at each individual figure, I really felt it would be necessary to do a look at each individual figure in the Guardia set one by one in their own videos, because honestly, Maketoys, most third parties in general, they kind of do everything better than Hasbro and Takara. Not all the time, not everything, not every single company, but in many cases, their versions of a character completely blow away whatever Hasbro and Takara does. Again, not all the time. I do have plenty of Hasbro and Takara figures that I love, but this it's when I got my hands. Okay, I'm gonna go off on a tangent, but yeah, I don't care. When I first got my hands, Quantron was the first Maketoys combiner that I got my hands on. The first Maketoys anything I got my hands on, and I really, really liked the Maketoys aesthetic. And because of that, I decided, forget Combiner Wars or Unite Warriors Defensor. I'm gonna go for Guardia because I just really like the look of the individual bots and the combine mode, and it kind of sucks because then it's kind of like, well, how do I display them? But that's neither here nor there. Anyway, because I have so much appreciation for Maketoys aesthetic, I really wanted to give each figure its own chance to shine. Hence the individual videos. So I'm going to start off with the very first figure that came out in the Guardia set, and that is Axel. And Axel is a very cool looking police, I guess kind of police, not necessarily police, but a very cool looking motorcycle. It's got the little sirens up there. Now, I will point out, unfortunately, when I first got my hands on Axel, and this is an issue I think a lot of people have had, I made the mistake of grabbing him in the wrong place while I was trying to transform him, and I snapped the brake handle off of his left handlebar. You can kind of see here, there's the handle here, there's no handle here. I do still have the handle, but it's so tiny that I'm not entirely sure gluing it back on would really matter. So it's unfortunate, but it's not that unsightly. And this isn't like this, from what I can tell, I think this is actually die-cast metal. So the fact that I snapped that off, it's mostly just because it's a very thin piece, as you can see, and because I was forcing a thing and I had my hands up here and I wasn't really paying attention to what I had my fingers on, and it snapped off, which is unfortunate, but these things happen. It was my fault. And it's not immediately noticeable. But anyway, so getting to Axel's motorcycle mode. This is a very cool motorcycle mode. I really dig it. It's like they do such a great job of hiding the robot. Like from the underside, you can kind of see a hand there. And if you look at this from a specific angle, you can kind of tell that that's his hand. But for the most part, this is just, it's a cool motorcycle. It's got some nice details, like it's got the rear lights here, some little bit of paint and molding on the bags on the side here, the little exhaust guard, or whatever you want to call that. Lots of little things like these little bits in there, and yeah, like just these little molded bits on the silver of the, I guess that's a kind of a hubcap, but not really. I don't know what you call them on motorcycles. But yeah, it's really cool. Like all the different lights are kind of picked out a little bit. These look like sirens. So if not I'm gonna say it's not a police motorcycle because it's just got red flashers. So maybe some kind of an emergency response motorcycle. I don't know. It's nice headlights up there, although it kind of looks like a dapper mustache. Just a little bit. You can almost see, like, if you imagine those as eyes, it's a little goofy looking, but it is cool. I do really like this motorcycle mode, and so many of the pieces kind of just create these interesting details. Like he hides his robot form incredibly well, and there's not like a ton of molded details in this, but I think the shape is really what sells it. Like they're just some interesting forms going on here, like these siren bits at the edges here, and these little lights here. I really like these little silver bars that kind of go down into the frame here, which are actually parts of his arms, and the way they fold up is really like it adds some cool details in robot mode. And yeah, he is a solid little motorcycle. A lot of people are saying that Axel is probably the best motorcycle transformer we've ever gotten, and I'm kind of inclined to agree. I mean, I haven't gotten my hands on every single motorcycle transformer out there, but Axel's really, really cool. So yeah, he is he is nice. I'm digging the black and white color scheme with just like the little bits of color. Like the black and white really make the orange and the red, like the occasional colors on him, it makes them really pop. And I really like that. So yeah, that's Axel's motorcycle mode. So let's take a look at him in robot mode. Right, so I'm only partially into the transformation. I just wanted to show this off real quick. This is that metal bar for the frame that I was talking about, and I think it's really cool how it kind of hinges up and creates this pretty cool shoulder detail that that's really neat when he's in robot mode. Okay, gonna finish this up. Axel in his robot mode is really, really cool. I this is why I love the Maketoys aesthetic. Their approach is really interesting to me. It's like it's somewhat reminiscent of the official characters in like sort of the big detail ways, but then they totally do their own thing with it. Like this is meant to be groove, and granted, I'm not the biggest groove aficionado, but you know, this does, at least to me, kind of evoke the feeling of groove. But this is also something much, you know, this is unique to Maketoys, and it's just so cool how they managed to engineer this figure so that the bike parts just form the robot parts. There's no real shell to anything. Like he has this tiny bit of a motorcycle on his back, but actually I actually really like how that looks. I think it's a really cool way to just kind of call back to his vehicle mode. And here you can see he's got these little details here from the shoulder transformation. The lights and sirens make some really nice splashes of color on the shoulders. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, he's still got that black and white thing going, but he's got a little bit more color visible from the front, just in the the straight on angle. And there's this gold that is added once this used to be the fuel tank, and I can kind of finagle this a little bit so you can see. Used to be folded down like that in vehicle mode, and this was this part up here was folded over so you couldn't really see this gold. But with this split open, now you can make out that that nice little chest detail there, and some other little details in there as well that also kind of break up what could have just been like a annoying kind of stripe of black going down his midsection. So yeah, he breaks up the monotony of what could have been from like just a white and black color scheme really, really well. And there's so many interesting parts to him. Just the fact that like those bags on the side of the motorcycle unfold and kind of fill out his legs a little bit, and he's got these interesting feet. The fact that like the inside of the wheels, because these two halves combine to make the rear wheel. The fact that like on the inside it's all white, so you've got this almost like it kind of makes the leg look a little bit more leggy, I guess you could say. And there's also this detail on the inside that you don't even see in motorcycle mode, but it comes out in robot mode. And it also tucks away, like when he's in vehicle mode, that all collapses in. And then just push that to pop that out, which allows you to move the leg up. And so much of this is actually hidden in vehicle mode. It's really impressive. Like even these details on the thighs, they actually end up, because of the way the hips move up into the torso, they actually hide under the seat here. So many of these details aren't actually visible in vehicle mode, and they just do such a great job of hiding everything and then bringing it out when it matters. He is very cool. You can see it's like the same details along the arms here that were in motorcycle mode. That exhaust guard is now an arm guard, which is nice. His head, try and bring that up a little bit to make it a little bit easier to see. It's kind of difficult because of the because of my amateurish lighting, but he has a nice head. Nice head. This cool red visor that it's kind of it's difficult to see with the light, but this is actually like a dark red visor. But yeah, there you can kind of see it. Yeah, the head looks nice. The little details look nice. It's just like these little. This I think is partially why I'm so big on the Maketoys aesthetic, is that you've got like there's lots of detail, but it's not an overabundant amount of detail. Like there's a lot of smooth surfaces to this to Axel here, but then he's got like just these little details, like in the shoulders there and in the forearms here, that they really just tie everything together. They keep it from being too basic, but they also keep it from being too busy. It's really cool. He's yeah, he's very cool. Now I will say, I've seen some complaints about the hollow arms here, and I could see where that would be a complaint. But the thing is, this is not something this isn't Maketoys pulling a Hasbro into car. This isn't just hollowing sections out for the sake of hollowing stuff out. If you actually, and I'm not going to show it because that's not what this video is about, but if you actually like look at if you watch like transformations and stuff like that, this gap here is actually designed to fit over this section of the leg, and that tab will actually tab in here. So it's not just that they cut that section out in order to save some money. They actually cut it out because it's necessary for the transformation. So yeah, but he is so cool. He's it's just I really like. I was and you'll see, like, I'll be going over the other figures in the future, and you'll see all of them too. And for a little while, I thought Katana was going to be my favorite, and I still think Katana's very cool. I actually think Hymed is even cooler, but there's just something about Axel that he will, unless Vulcan blows me away, Axel will probably be my favorite out of all 5 of the Protectobots. Well, they're not officially Protectobots, but you know what I mean. He's so cool. He's got just this great kind of slightly different look to him, with just like his thinness, and the fact that it hides so well in vehicle mode is just really cool. really impressive to me. So yeah, Axel is a cool guy. And he was, I thought, a very strong start to the Guardia set. I am very excited to see how everyone looks when they're combined, but in individual robot modes, they're also really cool. So enough enough wasting my time gushing. Yeah, I don't know. Enough of that. That has been a look at Maketoys Axle, and he is a really, really, really cool figure. Like I've said, I'm fully on board with the idea that he might very well be the best motorcycle transformer that exists right now. So, thank you everybody for watching, and as per usual, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Any combination of those three would be awesome. I will, of course, include a link down below if you'd like to get Axel for yourself. And if you're even the least bit interested, I think you should because he's really cool. And remember, as per usual, art is more than meets the eye.